in the gardens of Caversham House here in the Swan Valley. I'm with Carl Montgomery. Carl, you've helped us organise this wonderful day today. We're going to have a great trip around the Swan Valley and visit some fantastic places.
Yep.
I'm standing behind a Norton F1. Tell me a bit more about this baby.
They made 136 of them in 1991 and another 66 F1 Sports in 92. 90, 91, 91, 92. And that was it. And they made them in order to be able to race them. And when they were racing them, they were winning a lot of events. They won the TT in, I think it was 91. And then they changed the rules. They were so fast, they changed the rules, called them a 1.8 litre rotary. It's actually a 600cc rotary. Changed the rules so they couldn't race anymore.
Yeah, and when did you get hold of this one?
About 2 or 3 months ago. It was bought by a gentleman who lives in Perth, and he bought it brand new in England, imported it to Australia in 1998, where it spent most of the time on static display. And I've spent the last 8 or 9 weeks trying to get it to the point where it runs. Right,
and it's running well?
It's running pretty well.
I realise that we've got a lot of old bikes here today. You're not going to be zooming off in front, are you?
No.
You're going to be hanging back a bit.
it'll be ugly because it doesn't go very well below 3,000
I can bet. No, it sounds pretty spectacular. It's totally different from a normal sound of a bike,
That's
isn't
correct,
it?
Yeah.
It's got an interesting sound to it. Well, how would you explain it?
It's got an idle that's called a lope, and it starts to sound. It sounds a little bit like a whippersnipper to start with, and then as the revs pick, it starts to sound more and more like a turbine. And it howls, absolutely howls when it's close to redline.
Well, we're going to have a chat with a few other people, possibly a cup of coffee if they organise one. And then we'll head off to our first place, which we're stopping at the Kimberly Rum Company. Still here at Caversham House. Now, what we've got behind us is probably one of the best buildings in the Swan Valley. Beautiful building, got some beautiful surroundings, and in front of it is one of the classiest bikes ever built. Brough Superior, this is Ron, and Harris. Pleased to meet you, Harris. This is your dad's bike, I believe, isn't it? Probably going to be passed down to you, I should think.
Well, not too quickly, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully, hopefully not.
No, my father built it, restored it from basically from the ground up. A collection of very rusty parts. He's put a lot of time and effort into restoring the machine to the condition you see it today. A lot of the parts, you can't walk down to the local Brough Superior shop and buy them anymore, being a 1929 model. So a lot of the parts and fittings he's actually made himself.
Oh, fantastic. He's an engineer, is he?
He is. He's a retired fitter and turner.
Oh, wow.
So that's come in very handy with a lot of the jobs that he's had to do.
And how does the old girl go?
It goes very well. It might be old, but it's still quite good. They were obviously the top class motorcycle of their time. It'll still hold good road speeds today on today's modern roads.
I'm here today with Bill Cullen, who owns this. Now, Bill, I think you should tell us a little bit about this trike.
With the 2002 Oz trike, it's a Chopper 4. They're built in Gosford in New South Wales, and we bring them across over here.
So how long have you been bringing these across to Perth?
We've had Trike World going now for about 6-8 months. We're starting to get sort of orders through. We sold 2 this month. Both of them were Chopper 4s. One of them will be here a little bit later. And we're sort of carrying spare parts and accessories and things like that aimed more at the trike people rather than just the bikes.
So tell us a bit about the specs of the trike. How many cc's is the vehicle?
This one's got a 1940cc, basically a Volkswagen engine and transmission in it. It has the highway gears in it, which gives us a little bit better cruising speed. It's got long range tanks. It'll do about 700 k's range, and it'll quite happily cruise at 110 with a trailer on the back.
That sounds fantastic. Sounds like a great thing to have. Now, just for people out there that don't know much about the trikes, like myself, what sort of price range are you looking at to start to get into this sort of vehicle?
You can come in with a two-seater at about $30,000 plus on-road costs. Freight will cost you about $1,800 to $2,000 come from Gosford. To replace this one here, you're probably looking between $48,000 and $50,000.
Wow, so it's not a cheap hobby, but if you're interested in it, it's very interesting. And colour schemes. I'm really liking this purple here. What sort of colours can you get them in?
You can get them in all different colours. These are actually not painted, they're a gel coat, pretty much like you would see on a speedboat or that sort of thing. They range as far as you want to go with the colours, and you can have them. This one has a metal flake in it. You can have them with multicoloured metal flake, and they're different sizes. So you can customise them pretty much as crazy as you are.
Yep. Fantastic. So you've sort of got to be a bit eccentric, I think, to be out there on something like this. And
you can't be a shrinking violet.
No, I would say that they'd attract quite a bit of attention.
Oh yeah. You go down to get a loaf of bread, and it's a 20-minute just to get bits and pieces.
Well, I don't know about anyone, but I think it's pretty fantastic and pretty unique, and I think it's great. Thank you so much for your time today, Bill. I'm
no worries.
Really impressed.
We are first port of call, Kimberly Rum Company. That's right, isn't it?
That's right, it certainly is. It's the Great Northern Distillery side of it.
Great Northern Distillery.
Yep.
Yeah. Now you're going to give us a talk in a minute and show us how all this stuff's made, aren't you?
We're going to take the boys for a walk through and give them a bit of a surprise.
Yeah?
Yep.
Do you reckon they might taste a little bit of rum today?
I think they may have one or two. We were on a 3-drink limit here, so a lot of the bike guys like coming here because it's a nice, pleasant drive, and we cut them off at 3 drinks so they can at least get home safely.
Well, that's good, because they got a little bit more to go, actually. I think it might only be one. Might only be one. Now, we're standing here behind this awesome 1916 Harley Davidson, owned by Spencer from the Vintage Motorcycle Club at WA. Now, Spencer, tell me a little about this machine.
Well, we've had it about 45 years, I suppose. I did it up about 30 years ago, I suppose.
Yeah. And what size engine does it have?
1,000 seater.
This is a bit different from the Harleys you normally get pulling up here, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yes.
Normally they're slightly more modern. So it's been in the family 45 years?
Just our family. I got it off an old fella that, on the condition I didn't restore it because his son was killed on it.
Oh, right, okay.
And anyway, I've got a 1917 and I wanted this for spare parts. That's what I told him anyway. That was in Victoria, so I came over here with it and restored it. But he wrecked it and spread it over 5 different farms, all the neighbours.
Oh my goodness.
But he told me where all the parts were, so
you managed to...
Yeah, collected them all up.
Oh, brilliant. Now, who's done all the leather work for you?
The wife.
Yeah? It is awesome. And you're going to be heading off to, are you heading off to the UK for this big trip?
No.
You're not going on the vintage, no? No, because it'd be nice to get this over there.
Oh, and it's not real nice in the traffic.
It's not that good.
Well, I can't touch the ground for a start.
Well, there's a bit of a disadvantage.
And it's a foot clutch.
Yeah, so it's a little bit hairy.
Yeah, it still does 85 mile an hour. I was doing 60 coming out, catching up with you blokes. Oh, that's
not bad going, is it? Not bad going. No, well, enjoy your rum, and we're going to go inside and have a taste.
No worries.
Okay.
Cheers, guys. Let's go.
Okay.
You can hear the east dying if you listen very carefully. You can do that.
Satella Winery now, and here with Gary. Gary, 1928 Ariel.
Yeah, 28 Ariel, 500cc.
Yeah, beautiful machine. How long have you had this?
Well, I bought it not in this condition, of course. It was
better.
No, it was worse. Yeah, it was pretty buggered. It had half a motor, no wheels.
Oh my goodness.
No lights. No mud guards. There was a gearbox. That was it, really.
That was it. And talking about lights, you've got carbide light on the front.
Yeah.
Can you still get the stuff for this? Or?
Yeah, you buy carbide. Yeah,
you can. Yeah.
I got some carbide. Just put a bit in there. They're like rocks. It produces acetylene when you add water to it. And there's a container there. You put water in it, and you adjust the amount of drops going into the carbide, and it produces acetylene gas. And then you just get a match and open open it up.
So 500 single.
Yeah.
What sort of speed do you do on this then? Does it still tank along?
Yeah, about 50 mile an hour. You can go faster, you know, but that's just how about
Yeah, well,
how
the
fast
brakes
I go.
would sort of, you know,
Yeah, brakes
you wouldn't want to go too fast with the brakes, would you?
Yeah.
You belong to the Vintage Motorcycle Club?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. How long have you been a member there?
Oh, about 28 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 30 years probably, yeah.
30, oh, wow, a long time. Is that
it's
total loss system?
Total loss, or they say return to Earth. Return to Earth.
Yeah, return to Earth, yeah?
Yeah, there's a little pump down here, and the pump sucks the oil out. There's a container in there, like a partition in there, and it draws the oil out of the tank through this regulator, and you adjust the amount of drops going into the line down to the engine, and it just sort of goes out through some breathers which lubricate the chains, the primary and the rear chain, and the rest sort of just goes
So
out
it's a
the
little
exhaust.
bit more complicated than just jumping on and starting, isn't it?
Well,
right
it is.
away.
Not really. You get used to it.
You get used to it after a while.
Just got to retard the ignition a bit and then kick it over. Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot, mate.
No worries.
Thanks for letting us look at your bike.
Okay,
Cheers.
good on you.